All right, ladies and gentlemen, RJ Daniels, the owner of SSW Pro Wrestling here, and we want to thank you for joining us on our very first SSW Online live stream broadcast through YouTube. I am joined here with Devin Diamond and Ryan Young.
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
We are doing great. How are you today?
I'm not with Scott Beatty, so I am perfect.
Ah. And how about you, Devin?
I'm doing all right. It's hot. I'm sweaty and ready to talk to people.
Ah, awesome. Well, I'm glad I'm not there in person with you.
Thanks, speaking logo.
Yeah. Well, you can only do so many things at one time here. Well, for anybody that's out there watching us right now, this is, of course, our first time doing this. We've never done it before. So you guys are very welcome to make fun of us as much as you want, because we don't really know what we're doing yet, but we're giving it a shot and we're going to see how it goes. So as many of you know, coming up next weekend on Sunday, September 4th at 7 p.m. live at the legendary Brat Stop in Kenosha, Wisconsin, we are going to be kicking off our 14th season of events. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look back to our season finale from last season, of course. It was our Best in the Midwest 2016 event, and it was one heck of an event. I was there, and both you guys were there, so first off, before we get to the video, what did you guys think of our 13th anniversary show back in May?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I definitely loved it. I think it was a great way to finish off the season. I think just going to lead into what's going to be a great 14th year for SSW.
And I know, Devin, you were involved in it pretty directly. So what did you think?
I think it was a good time. I had a lot of fun getting back in the ring for a few minutes. I got kicked in the face by Shogun, but it was definitely nice to put a little exclamation point and drill Matt Dewar into the center of that ring. So
yeah, it kind of looked like that was a long time coming. So. All right. Well, anyways, I guess without further ado, as we had kind of announced on our Facebook page, of course, you can go to SSWOnline.com to find out more about SSW Pro Wrestling. There's links to our Facebook, of course, our YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on already, so we don't need to plug that. And of course, our Twitter is at SSW Wrestling WI. That's all one. And what we're going to do now is we are going to start watching Best in the Midwest 2016. That was our 13th anniversary show, and that took place back in May a few months ago. And of course, that is going to directly lead into where we're going with our season premiere next Sunday. So without further ado, here we go.
We're not going to hear Ryan Young's commentary, right?
Well, you guys are the commentary guys, so if you just keep talking, then it'll work well. So, all right, here we go.
This opening contest is scheduled for one fall to the finish, and this is for the Lady Division Championship. Introducing first, out of Oakland, California. At 224 pounds, he is the greatest spectacle in all of pro wrestling. He is DDS.
And I would just like to take a moment to point out that DDS, he is a longtime veteran of the Midwest. He kind of made his debut a few months back prior to this, taking on Pauly Thomaselli for the LWF title. And he had an impressive debut, but this is, he might be starting down low in the ranks here in SSW, but he has been around the block quite a few times when it comes to the Midwest wrestling scene, as many of you know.
That's right, and it's a little known fact that his logo on his gear is inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan.
Well, maybe.
Didn't we have a logo like that at one point?
Didn't he have what?
Didn't SSW have a Wu-Tang logo before?
No, we had a Halloween logo one time.
Our second participant. He's from the Aztec Ruins at 245 pounds. Name is SSW debut, the Firelord, Draconis!
Yeah, I'd like to point out that the Firelord Draconis, another one of the masked luchadors that are based out of Illinois, a very impressive wrestler, and when the opportunity came to bring him into SSW, I was very happy to do so. I felt that he would be a strong addition to the Lightning division of SSW. You guys familiar with Firelord?
No, that was my first time getting a chance to see him. I was definitely impressed.
Yeah, same here. Is he looking for his contact, or is he? I kid. No, but this guy's really good. Seeing him in the ring, I definitely was surprised by what he brought in.
Yeah, he's a big guy too for a masked guy. Sometimes these luchador guys are kind of, I'll put it this way, on the leaner, smaller side. But man, he's probably one of the taller guys on the roster.
Oh yeah, he's definitely real tall.
Third participant from Mexico City, Mexico, at 192 pounds, Furia!
Always an impressive entrance, Ramp.
So Ryan, I hear Ray Furia was the favorite in this match, huh?
Oh yeah, of course.
Can you elaborate?
No, I don't.
I've never been a real fan of masked luchadors, but it's because I've never really watched any Mexico wrestling or any. So I've never really been a fan. Besides the obvious masked wrestlers, I've never had an interest in seeing them. But these two were definitely very impressive.
Okay. I'm just gonna go break the fourth wall here for a second and say that we're having a hard time hearing you. So if there's any way that you can get your volume up just a little bit, it'd be good.
Speak up, monkey.
Is that any better?
It's probably because a little bit. It's probably because of the audio on the other stuff. Hang on.
Why I go get blessed.
I'm used to being cut off by Riccolo. That's nothing new.
Oh my apostles of Kenosha! Our holy Lord above commands you to stand to your feet and give worship to his favorite wrestler in his world! You are blessed, Riccolo!
Uh-oh. I think he might have washed his white robes with something he shouldn't have.
And the best wrestler in the building! Hey, if you boo me, you're going straight to hell, you hear me?
Look at him looking down sad. Not left and you see a referee with glasses.
Yeah, that's a risky move right there.
Cups is American.
Here we go.
You guys hearing the audio for the video okay?
Yep.
Good.
All right.
I gotta do a thing you tell me to do, boy!
I see we got 4 people watching us right now, so thank you for joining in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. Nice double clothesline.
Yeah, that's a place Jacobs doesn't want to be, with three guys that want to take his title from him.
Ooh.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, that doesn't look like fun.
There goes William Jacobs.
The beard plancha.
Yeah, that's you would with the high flag.
Ooh. That's a big guy to be going over the top rope.
Yeah, but what a move.
And that's why you pay for front row seats, everyone.
And then you get your pin through.
Nice plug. Ooh.
It's weird commentating on something that's already happened.
I know, that's...
Like, oh, well, I wonder what's going to happen here in this match. Here you go.
Hey, I'm busy backstage taking care of everything, so I don't. This is the first time for me seeing most of this.
Yeah, I was probably taking a nap at this time, too. I'm being told to speak louder. You can't hear me good.
You're good now.
Kevin, speak louder. Volume good.
Yeah, you're good now.
Will DDS be at the show next weekend?
Yes, DDS is scheduled to appear. We're going to be making some match announcements for Sunday show coming up this week. But yes, the greatest spectacle in pro wrestling does return. Listen to that aggressiveness by the Firelord Draconis. Interesting note about this match is that Furia and Draconis, they were actually tag team champions down in Illinois as a team, but I recently found out that they no longer are, and I'm wondering if them two facing off in this match had something to do with that.
I bet.
Not like we planned it that way, but, you know, spirit of competition, right?
It looks like they're getting along very well. The opportunities.
Yeah, the interesting thing was to be seeing Draconis and William Jacobs almost on the same page during this match, which was weird against one of his, I guess, former tag team partners.
That's what a four-way match is, though. You get weird pairings and for 1 second, and then they beat up each other the next.
Yep, that's right. If you want to win that championship, you've got to make some alliances and you got to make some enemies.
Strange bedfellows, right?
Yeah,
That's
there you
right. Just like American politics.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, Jacobs needs to watch his back there because Draconis almost got a pinfall while he was worried about DDS.
But that's a clever move to keep one guy out of the ring. Now it keeps it to like a triple threat.
Yep. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Oh.
Steal! My word! Everything that I've done! You think you're gonna stop me?
Classic move there.
Oh, the battering ram. By the way, on a side note, rest in peace, Mr. Fuji.
Right? Yeah, I heard about that. I'll always be traumatized by him ending the career of Rick Martel at WrestleMania 4.
Wow, a leg drop from standing on the back. That's kind of interesting maneuver. And again, not paying attention, almost lost his belt.
William Jacobs, I watched him. He trained down in Illinois. And from then to now, he is just a tremendous athlete. I give him so much credit. He's definitely one of the top ones around the Indies.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about him, too, is that you look at him and it's like, I've never seen a guy with a bigger pack of abs than him. It's like he's got a box of chiclets in his stomach. No, but he does it impress. I mean, when you're talking about athleticism and you know, just being in general good conditioning, William Jacobs, you look no further.
Yep. When he first made his SSW debut, I said that he's going to be something in the organization, and lo and behold, he's a champion.
Yep.
Oh, you mean when you paid him to throw the match with Justice Jones? Maybe. Oh wait, we won't get into that.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here.
I forgive, I don't forget.
I'm just going to eat my Tic Tac in peace.
Good.
Fight you.
Back and forth.
Did you just pick your nose?
Yes. I itched it.
Oh. Oh. Nice. It almost looked like Jacobs was going to reverse out of that, and he stopped him just midstream.
We all know it's hard to stop midstream. That was a urination joke.
All right, Captain Obvious.
Hey, stole my move.
No, yours is a DD driver, his is a DDS driver. It's different.
Mine's a Phillips, his is a flathead.
Now, see, that's where that veteran ring awareness of DDS comes into play. Oh, well, except for after that. But
I didn't know Devin Diamond had a move. See, you learned something here on the live show.
I got lots of moves. I got 2 kids.
Oh, boy.
it's a family show, literally.
Yes.
Oh. And in typical William Jacobs fashion, sneaks in at the very end and preserves his title.
Only cheat if you get caught, and at the end of the day, all that matters is if you're the winner. Sad but true. Good match.
Yeah, well, you definitely got to give him credit. I mean,
Oh, jeez.
yeah. I see your buddy Scott Beatty's a big
I really
fan
want to
there,
touch that buffoon.
So, but again, in the end, you got to give the kid a lot of credit. He's been the Lightning Division champion, I believe, since back in December, and you know he's successfully defended that title many times thus far. So definitely, it was a good kickoff to our 13th anniversary event there back at Best of Midwest back in May. So, what do you guys thought on that match?
Go ahead, Ryan.
you always like them high tempo, back and forth, quick style matches, and you get that with luchadors, and you got that with William Jacobs and DDS. I liked it. A great way, like you said, to kick off the 13th anniversary.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see some new faces in the Lightning division. It's you've got your World Championships, you've got your Tag Team Championships, and you've got the Lightning division, which is it's where all faces, all weight, all newcomers, young and old, can show up and see who's the best. I think that's really a great stepping stone for a lot of those new guys. I think that's definitely they didn't win the match, but they have nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, and just to throw a little bit of a plug out there, William Jacobs, because he is the current Lightning Division champion. For those that aren't aware, next Saturday night up in Milwaukee, I have given my my permission for that title to be on the line at Legacy Pro Wrestling up in Milwaukee. Unfortunately, I don't have the information right in front of me at this point in time, but you can look him up on Facebook. William Jacobs will be defending the Lightning Division championship in an officially sanctioned match at Legacy Pro Wrestling.
So he can lose it to a guy that's not even on the SSW roster?
Well, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. But they're running a Night of Champions kind of sort of thing, and I figured, well, SSW hasn't been presented in Milwaukee for quite some time for numerous reasons, but we won't get into any of that. But again, they're one of the good feds up there, where we consider them friends in the business, and we figured, what the heck, let's see what happens. But should he walk out of that show still the Lightning Division champion, well, then he will be defending that title next Sunday when we kick off our 14th season of events. So, but anyways, that was the first match at our show. Of course, it was a high-paced match, and we're going to lead off here into the second match on the show, which was, if I have my here, bear with me for a second, guys. Second match was the Tag Team Championship match, and it was the first title defense of Joey Avalon and Max Holiday after they kind of surprised everybody in their first outing as a tag team here in SSW. And they came in and won the SSW Tag Team Championships, and I know that was something that we all had actually discussed, is that, were they going to be at a disadvantage in their first go-around to defend those titles? Because as we know, teams that have been around for a long time, when they, as were their opponents, as Grin and Machine, the original three rings, which in and of itself was interesting because for the past few years, Grin and Machine have actually been at odds with each other. They've been feuding with each other on and off at many different promotions throughout the Midwest. But they had actually put their differences aside to come back, because they were actually in the very first SSW tag team match of the current generation back in 2013 when they took on Ryan Cross and Jeff Luxon. And they've been a force to be reckoned with here in SSW. But I know we had seen the match at the show, but just get your guys' thoughts on that match before we actually go in and start watching it.
I think that's a strange duo together, Joey Avalon and Max Holiday, but it seemed to work out. And then when you got Grin is a character in and of itself.
Indeed.
But,
Yes. Definitely an interesting pairing. You don't usually see people who just walk into a match together and just click and win the tag team championship in their first outing. I think they definitely, especially beating Furia, they definitely made a mark in SSW. I think come this next season, they're going to be making their own mark again as well.
All right, well, without further ado, we are going to actually get into the match right now. We're going to check it out. So coming up next on SSW Online Live's beta test, our first episode, we're going to be the Tag Team Championship from Best of the Midwest 2016, where the defending champions, Joey Avalon and Max Holiday, defend those titles against the original three rings, Grin and Machine. And here we go.
Before we go on, we got a couple of rules over here that everybody's got to obey.
And we'll skip the rules and regulations, and here we go.
This for the SSW Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, with a combined weight of 530 pounds, the team of Machine Grin, they are the Three Rings!
Oh, what a damn thing.
Anyways, just so we don't get any copyright strikes, I'm going to pop down the music here just a little bit. So, it's been the first time that Grin and Machine returned to SSW in a long time. As you can see, in their true form and fashion, we have had a few different variations of the Three Rings here in SSW, and just to going back to the originals right here, these two guys, the original Three Rings that appeared in SSW back at Lords of the Ring back in January of 2013. Again, when they took on Ryan Cross and Jeff Luxon for the current generation tag team titles, but always a venerable tag team. Every time they're here. Crowd favorites too, good or bad. They
are the epitome of a special attraction.
Yes, definitely. Guys, we'd love to have all the time, and we get up here as often as we can because we know that the fans in Kenosha love seeing these guys, and it's always an interesting match whenever they're involved.
Oh, definitely. I have trouble sleeping after I see their matches.
Hey, look at that! That's a face only a mother could love, eh? Maybe not even in his case.
Their opponents, with a combined weight of 522 pounds, the SSW Tag Team Champions, Joey J. Avalon and Max Holiday! Holiday!
As we were saying just a couple moments ago, kind of what Ryan had said about Avalon and Holiday being kind of a weird pairing. It was, I actually presented the option to them because we were looking to expand out our tag team division a bit, and I kind of looked around and I was saying, who are two of the biggest and baddest guys that we could bring into the tag division, actually give some intimidation and a wow factor. And I looked, and both these guys are probably two of the heaviest hitters that we could find in the Midwest. Of course, Joey Avalon is well known around Milwaukee, and Max Holiday is well known and down in Chicago. And as kind of weird of a pairing, quote unquote, as we could call it, I mean, in their own way, they have their own style. But I think just looking at them from an objective standpoint, it's similar but different, complementary kind of difference, and we can't ignore the very 80s appearance that both of them generally run with too, which it didn't go unnoticed to me when the thought came across. But two intimidating guys nonetheless. So, and
what is Joey Avalon's coat made out of?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is Joey Avalon's coat? It's what animal did they shred to make that thing?
I think that's 100%.
Yeah.
I think that might have been Devin's cat Furball at one point.
Aww.
But it looks very comfortable. That's for sure.
Yes.
Furball. It's actually 100% quality, real yak fur.
See. All right. Wow. Yeah, Grin and Machine never wants to mince words when they're slashing insults. Outside the bit. Yeah, I think at this point in time, Grin and Machine need to realize that, as much as the crowd may or may not dislike them, they gotta important championship match going on here, and they seem to really be more focused on what the crowd has to say than anything else at this point. And that's not a good sign to start.
You got to focus on the people in front of you, not that crowd, because they will boo you, they will cheer you, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think. It's only if you get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
No pun intended.
Oh, there they go.
And there's the bell.
Yeah, and the Grin Machine aren't exactly any slouches. They'll take you down very quickly.
Oh, clever move.
Intelligence. Ring veterans.
Now, I think everybody in this ring are probably some of the most well-known wrestlers you're going to find in all of the Midwest at this point in time.
Through those commentary rooms. That referee looks like Bob Hoskins.
Well, that would be our referee Joel Furrer.
And I'm still not sure if he knows how to count to 3 yet.
What's his name?
Joe Furr.
Joe Furr?
Actually, former tag team partners with Adam Pearce.
Ah.
They're actually really good friends. Why anyone would want to be friends with Joe Furr, I'm still trying to figure out.
Well, personal stuff aside, he's a great referee, and we'll give him all the credit in the world for that.
I just asked his name, nerd. I didn't ask for a biography. I kid.
Hey, that's why we love Ryan Young, because he knows all that odd stuff that we don't.
Yeah, I've known Furr for a while. He is a good referee.
What's the pH periodic table symbol for iron?
Look at these two, collar and elbow tie-up all around the ring.
Yeah, oddly enough, Grin kind of looks to have a size disadvantage in this match just because of all of them. But he is a powerhouse in his own right, just because he looks a little bit smaller next to all these big guys in the ring with him. I mean, you want to talk about another guy that takes being in shape and however crazy of workouts that he goes through. I mean, I've had the intimidation of shaking his hand on a few occasions, and yikes, you don't want to catch him at the wrong moment.
Yeah, he attacked me at the urinal once.
Yeah, if anybody would like to see that, you can go to our YouTube channel and look up Grin Confronts Devin Diamond. It's funny. Not for Devin.
Funny. Sure. That was scary.
I bet Grin was smiling.
Yeah, and as you can see there, Grin and Machine haven't really missed a beat as a tag team, because the moment Grin was in a little bit of trouble, Machine was right there and had his back, and well, he had Avalon's back too.
Yeah. Your back just got punched twice.
Pretty sure it was once, but it was enough to break the pin.
Wow, correcting you.
As an interesting note of unity for Avalon and Holiday is that Joey Avalon is, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually wearing Max Holiday's vest at this point. I don't even know where I missed.
He is.
Does he have on? Does Max have on Avalon's vest too? Because I really want to see that. I can't see him right now.
Oh.
But that is awesome. It's almost like the vests are coordinated with their hair colors.
That's Avalon's natural hair color.
Comes Max Holiday.
Boom. Yeah, it was just an interesting side note with Joey Avalon. It was actually last November back at Fuel Pro Wrestling that he was brought to my attention when he took on Shogun Chris Logan, and when the Refinement Club was kind of just getting their start and starting their reign of terror over SSW, and when I saw how they had cost Avalon by interfering in the match, we brought him up here to SSW to settle the score. And in his surprise debut, he teamed with Vic Capri and Marshe Rockett, if I'm not mistaken, to take on the Refinement Club. And when he showed up, they weren't expecting it, and they were actually able to beat that team of 3 guys at that point in time. So, but he definitely made an impact in SSW right at that point in time. But back to the match, you got Machine. He's in control of Max Holiday at this point in time, and Machine is he is a beast.
I was literally just going to say the same exact thing.
Great minds think alike.
They do.
Your Devin would disagree, but...
Stop it. I said he's a machine.
Hey, a visitor.
Baby, any girls?
Aw.
Hey, hi.
Let's make sure he doesn't hit your power button. So. Yeah, Grin there with a tried and true maneuver there, but with that armbar on Max Holiday. It may not be the type of move that you're going to finish a match with, but having him sit there wrenching on that arm of Max Holiday. Now look at him taunting Joey Avalon with that. Grin knows what he's doing. If there's anybody that's a master of mind games in all the Midwest, it is definitely Grin. No mistake about it.
He's choking him out. He should have went for the pinfall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry about that. That was my roommate.
So he's a mature one.
Yeah, that's right. He pays the rent. I do the dishes.
You have a dishwasher, so I think you got the short end of the stick on that one.
You said that.
Yeah, but now Max Holiday is definitely in a corner that he doesn't want to be in right now. I'm sure he'd give anything to get a good tag to Joey Avalon.
Oh, what a squash.
If he stays there, he's going to give up the tag titles.
Yeah, I think one thing possibly about Grin and Machine in this match is that they probably do, to a certain extent, smell blood in the water. No, just flat out knowing that Joey Avalon and Max Holiday had only had one match as a team together, and it's you got when you take things for granted, it's really they seem like they're almost nonchalant in the way that they're just toying with Max Holiday and Avalon at this point in time, but. You can be as sure as you want in any match, but it isn't going to assure victory until you put one of those 2 guys, shoulders to the mat.
From personal experience, when you're in a tag team with somebody that you really gel with, you guys are a well-oiled machine, you very easily can see the glaring faults of a team that does not work well together.
Yeah.
I'm a former 4-time tag team champion. It didn't happen by accident. When you're with somebody who knows what they're doing, knows what you're going to do before you even do it, there's nothing that can defeat that.
Yeah, and I definitely do believe that going into this match, that probably is one of the things that Joey Avalon and Max Holiday, well, clearly having only teamed one time prior to this, that they definitely didn't have that dynamic working in their favor, whereas Grin and Machine, years and years of working, even if they feuded with each other, and years of working together. But the one thing not to be, taken for granted or overlooked is the fact that, Max Holiday and Avalon, you can be a team all day long, but when you're in the ring, it's still what you know and how, it's your battle when you're tagged in. And right there, Max Holiday showed that he has ring awareness, and to avoid Grin jumping off the top rope like that, that was clearly scouted ahead of time.
Well, here comes Joey Avalon. House of Fire.
House of Fire on Machine there. Machine actually looks stunned and doesn't even know how to react to that at this point.
There you go.
Big forearm to Machine there.
Forearm to the big man.
Another signature running forearm/elbow.
Well, he is just, Avalon is just taking Machine to town.
Definitely showing how good he is.
Nice job by Grin there to break up the pin.
Yeah. All right, there. When you were talking about being a well-oiled machine, they're showing that teamwork right now, Max Holiday and Joey Avalon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think the ref was out of position for that pinfall at that point in time with all the chaos in the ring. He's trying to get order and kind of missed that pinfall there. I wonder if that would have been a 3 if he had gotten in there or not.
Ooh, a backcracker.
Ooh. Got to work on that. Referee vision plan.
Well, when you got 4 guys like that running around the ring, I think the first priority for me would be just get out of the way, and I wouldn't doubt that a certain part of him was doing the same thing, just making sure he was in the middle of one of those guys flying one way or the other.
Oh!
And kudos to Max Holiday for his ring awareness of what was going on right there, as Grin and Machine were setting up for a major move on Joey Avalon there, and a big boot from Max Holiday, and another one for Joey Avalon, and the big man's down.
Oh, and then... Yeah. Finisher of Joey Avalon.
And there you have it, folks. Joey Avalon and Max Holiday successfully retain the SSW Tag Team Championships.
Like you said, Grin is not a small man to do that to, so that's very impressive.
The SSW Tag Team Champions, the team of Joey Avalon and Max Holiday.
Definitely a good match. Yep. Good, solid SSW tag team action.
Yeah. Now, one thing I gotta say on a personal note with that is like, one of the things that we have to do on every show, especially one of our bigger events like this being our 13th anniversary show, I would say arguably probably the biggest event that we had done to date at this point in time. You take a match like this, and I would say any show at any time, that would be a main event caliber match. And I don't want to say it in any sort of negative term or anything like that, but that being the second match on the card, that was an epic match, I think, on anybody's card that you would find.
That was a great match.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It doesn't always matter who goes on last. It's if you have a great match, it doesn't matter what position you are on the card. People think of WrestleMania 3 and they think Hogan and Andre, and then they think Macho Man and Steamboat. It doesn't always matter what the last match is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, that was easily a main event caliber tag team match between 4 of probably the best well-known guys in the Midwest that you're going to find, and they may not have had as much time to prep for this match as of course the later matches do and things like that. But if you're walking into a show and you're not mentally prepared to begin with, it doesn't matter how much time you have on the show, whether the first match or the last match. So sometimes the longer you got to wait, you can let your mind get to you. And obviously, Joey Avalon and Max Holiday, they came in, they kicked butt, and they went home with the gold. And that definitely was, that was a very impressive match. So, but in closing, so what did you guys think of the match overall?
I thought it was great, and that just shows you how great the tag team division is in SSW.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely brought some good hard-hitting action to the tag division, and I think that really solidified Holiday and Avalon as not a fluke. That they won those tag championships for a purpose. And it'll be interesting to see what those two can bring to the table in the next couple shows.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they will not be at our season premiere event. As much as we tried to get as good of a card as we can, unfortunately we were unable to lock down a good set of opponents for Joey Avalon and Max Holiday. So as of this moment, we are definitely planning to have them back. We're planning for the end of October for our next event if all goes according to plan, but unfortunately they will not be in attendance this Sunday, so don't want to take away from the show in any way, but just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. So yeah. Well, we lost Devin, so.
Well, I got a question for you, RJ. Who
Sure.
do you see as suitable contenders right now for the tag team titles?
Well, I guess I guess Devin's not too happy that they're not going to be there, but I guess we'll deal with that. But anyways, to answer your question, Ryan, we're trying to look at things objectively. Of course, you look out throughout the Midwest, and I try and see the tag teams out there. I know that obviously, two of the guys that would be at the top of the ladder would be Ryan Cross and Jeff Luxon. Unfortunately, as many of you know, Jeff Luxon, unfortunately, and of course, he and his family experienced a house fire, so he's going to be on the sidelines for a while as he deals with that. It's a terrible thing to have happened. Of course, everybody was safe and sound, and it's just property and things like that. So he will not be appearing this Sunday, and I know Cross he's not going to be in attendance as of right now, because as a tag team, of course, if one of them can't be there, it's not going to work. So they're definitely at the top of the ladder. So we are going to see where we go from here. We're looking at a couple other teams. I know Pauly Thomaselli and Hardcore Craig are another venerable tag team in the West that we're hoping to maybe lock that down at some time in the near future.
Yeah, Hardcore Impact, very, very. That'd be a tough tag team to beat. That'd be a great match to see.
Yeah, it's something that we're looking at, but right now we're just kind of we're taking it a step at a time, and we're going to see where we go from here. And once our next event rolls around, we'll let everybody know when we got it locked down.
And also, I just I put into the chat. I don't know if you guys can see it. I linked the GoFundMe page for Jeff Luxon and his family for their apartment fire, for their vet bills that they had. So they've already raised $1,700.
Wow.
Just about half of what they were looking for. So, like I said, probably a good amount of people have already contributed. But if you can spare anything, they definitely could use it.
Yeah, yes, they did, and so as everybody knows, our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and we're glad everybody was safe, and we really hope to see Jeff back in action and teamed with Ryan Cross in the very near future. So with that said, we're going to go into our third match here, and I know we were just talking about Hardcore Impact, Pauly Thomaselli a few minutes ago. Well, the third match on the show was what I would consider to be, kind of a special attraction match. It was the LWF Championship match where Pauly Thomaselli, the long reigning, the Lunatic Wrestling Federation champion, the quote-unquote backyard fed that went way back in the days, one that is known for many guys around the area. Pauly Thomaselli is the official LWF champion as of this show, and we wanted to put that title on the line, officially sanctioned by Billy Wack, and we got a great opponent for him to take on, and that of the Beer City Bruiser from Ring of Honor fame. So, anyways, what were you guys' thoughts going into that match when we announced it?
Matt Winchester, obviously a very talented wrestler from all over Wisconsin, and obviously from Ring of Honor. And I think him against Pauly Thomaselli, two veterans in wrestling, I thought it was going to be a great match, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw that match on the card, I knew somebody was going to get their teeth loosened. So, and it was pretty much what I expected. Is there was a lot of hard-hitting action, a lot of stiff shots, and neither guy was the same after that match.
Yeah, I definitely knew that when that match got signed on the dotted line, that was going to be probably one of the hardest hitting matches of the night. And it did not disappoint. So without further ado, we are going to take a look at that match now. It was the LWF Championship match where the defending champion, Pauly Thomaselli, took on Ring of Honor's Beer City Bruiser. And here we go.
Championship! Introducing first, the challenger.
I still think that's a big.
Ring of Honor Wrestling. To the scales at 300 pounds. Here comes the Beer City Bruiser.
Yeah, tipping the scales at 300 pounds. That is a big dude.
Definitely. And he does not mess around.
No, definitely. Yeah, and you know, for those of you in the area, I'm sure many of you know that Beer City Bruiser is he's been making making an impact on Ring of Honor. You can see him on well, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. Is it channel 18 or 24 in Milwaukee?
24.
Yeah, on channel 24. I believe it's every Saturday and Sunday. Ring of Honor is on.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess also as a cheap plug, you can watch each of their weekly episodes on the Fight TV app. I learned that one from the Pro Wrestling Report, nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh.
California, at 235 pounds, he is the LWF Heavyweight Champion, the Impact Bully, Pauly Thomaselli.
Good to see Pauly back after being so brutally beaten by the Refinement Club. Not too worse for wear, I might add.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the kind of overlooked events that happened prior to the show. Was that Pauly Thomaselli, of course, he was I was going to say was his manager. I'm not sure exactly where you guys stand on that one, but when Dave Rydell and Matt Dwyer decided to align themselves with the Refinement Club at the a couple of shows prior to this, as unexpected as it was, to see Pauly Thomaselli put out of action for a while with his as you can see that heavily braced knee there at the attack that you guys took, having him come back and take on this tough of an opponent right away. I think some question whether or not he'd be able to hang on to that LWF title or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fighting champion. I had to focus on getting ready for my match later in the night, but even if I wasn't, he probably would have wanted to go this one alone.
So who do you think has the weight advantage in this match?
Well, clearly we're looking at it right now.
The ring.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people look at Pauly Thomaselli and kind of think that he's a brawler just based off look. But I'll tell you, Pauly Thomaselli is probably one of the best technicians that we have on the SSW roster. But he also is one of the hardest hitters. Now, that's a complete clash of styles when it comes to, against Winchester, who is pretty much the definition of a brawler. I mean, Pauly Thomaselli being able to pull out some of his technical moves, I think, he'd be able to catch the Bruiser in, unexpected situations where he think that he would be able to just pound a normal opponent into the ground, and Pauly Thomaselli is definitely not one to be taken lightly like that.
Definitely. Yeah, you definitely see Paul and you think he's just going to punches you in the face, but next thing you know, he's coming at you with moonsaults and planchas and arm drags and leg whips. You never know what he's going to bust out.
Yeah, I mean, and to have a guy like Pauly take Winchester's arm like that and actually be able to control it, there's probably not a lot of guys that he gets in the ring with that he's actually, unable to just swing the guy around and get out of that.
Yeah. It's a big arm to be getting control of.
I can't help but notice that prior to the match, Devin, that you said that somebody was going to get their teeth knocked in, but I don't think Winchester has had to worry about that because clearly he's already been there.
Oh, you had to go there.
Many times over.
Hey, but you know what? It's not to it just goes to show that he has he's been there. You know what I mean? When you see a guy like him come up to you and you see what he's been through, that's definitely a guy you don't want to mess with.
No.
Just because somebody doesn't have if they won't come out to fight, you never know.
Yeah.
But they're not very good at fighting, which is not the case in Winchester's case, obviously. But
I'll tell you though, that slap that would have been pretty darn close to getting there if that had already been done in the past. That's for sure.
yeah, I think there's a couple teeth like in there. So.
Hey Ryan, I think you and Scott, you might might have found a tooth over at the announce table at that point after that one, if that would have been the case. Matter of fact, let's not rule it out. This was, during this match, there could have been teeth flying everywhere.
Oh, definitely.
You guys didn't find any over there when it was over, did you?
No.
All right.
Then he blocks it. Yep. Not today.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely would like to point out that we were very happy for crowd safety to get those crowd barriers. I know it had been a long time coming, but it's interesting that when one thing presents itself as an opportunity to for fan safety, it also can be a detriment to the wrestlers when they're at ringside. Although, as we know, per the rules, the wrestlers are really supposed to be in the ring right now, and we know that doesn't always happen.
I don't think these two guys were interested in rules.
Yeah. During the course of this match, and I was watching it was like, hey, I think these guys are gonna. I was almost tempted to go out there and tell the ref, fine, make this a no disqualification match because I wanted the fans to get the most out of this match that they possibly could.
Punch for punch between these two.
Yeah. That has got to be tough on both Winchester's head and Thomaselli's fist.
Yeah. Without question.
But Winchester has a hard head.
Definitely.
You know how many beer cans he smashed against that noggin?
Yes, I do.
Oh, God.
I definitely have to point out, though, it might not have been the smartest move on Pauly's behalf.
No.
Yeah, it might not have been the smartest, but if he was able to pull that off, that would really possibly end the match. I mean, getting suplexed on the concrete floor like that.
That might have took the building down to its foundation.
Yeah. Maybe it's the promoter in me, but I was fearful of the people in the front row on that one.
Or the back row.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have felt that in China. Oh, too soon.
Oh, boy.
Oh. I know how that feels. Ba-dum-bum.
I see what you did there.
Oh.
Oh,
Now, that just goes to show you how vicious that Winchester is. To see a guy laying on the mat like that with his head hanging over and just to come up to him and just almost knock his head off like that. I mean, this is a guy that, he wants to win his match, but he wants to hurt you in the process. No doubt.
Yeah, Winchester definitely takes a great pride in hurting people.
Well, there's two things to do in this business: it's win, and then it's beat the crap out of people. And he does both. He has the opportunity to, he wins his matches by beating the crap out of people, and he does it as well as probably anybody. But
oh, here comes Pauly. Oh, there goes Pauly.
There goes Pauly.
Point out too that with Pauly Thomaselli, this is probably a rare instance of Pauly Thomaselli really being taken to his limit. I mean, he's wrestled a lot of guys here in SSW, but this being the first time that Beer City Bruiser has appeared in SSW, I mean, I know that they've been on opposite sides of the ring in other promotions throughout the Midwest, but for these two to go one-on-one, head-on-head, here it's, as you can see, Pauly's definitely, I won't say bitten off more than he can chew, but he's definitely met his match when it comes to Winchester.
Yeah, it's not too often you see Pauly on his back, not knowing where he is.
Oh, God.
Or just having a guy of Winchester's size being able to stop most of his moves like that.
Probably didn't go through the ring.
Yeah. Feel bad for those tights.
Very absorbent.
Yeah. Now, Pauly, you can tell that he's, he is wearing down in this match, because I've seen many of his matches where, there's a 1 count and he's kicking out. But to be taken almost to 3 by Winchester, that's, at this point in time, that LWF title is definitely, that is hanging in the balance.
He is waiting for Pauly Thomaselli to turn around.
Might have waited a little too long, and there it is.
Yep.
Pauly just switched from brawler to technician at that point in time.
Yep, that's what you got to do. If you're fighting a brawler, you can't go face-to-face, fist-to-fist with them, though, because they'll take you down.
Yeah, Pauly's definitely not the smallest guy in the world to be doing a move like that, but he just shows he's as graceful as anybody pulling off a maneuver like that. I think that's kind of called, what was that called, the Pele kick, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it was. Oh.
Here we go again, back and forth.
I think at this point in time, both men have seen what each other's arsenal has, and they're just resorting now to just brute force.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, we're just going to listen to that.
Sure, they felt that in the morning.
Yeah. I think the first row was feeling the sweat flying off these guys when they're pounding each other. Is that, wow.
Ooh.
Beautiful standing moonsault, signature move of Pauly Thomaselli.
Yep.
I guess it's more of a running moonsault, but whatever.
Oh no, I've seen this move many times. The Beer City Bruiser.
Yeah.
I would not want to be on the back end of this one. Oh.
I'm just going to say squish on that one.
Wait, he's not the ref. Ah!
Oh. Now, I'm going to say on a move like that, the only downside is that after the move, Pauly's stuck in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just that couple extra moments that, Winchester has to pull his opponent out of the corner to make a pinfall, I think that makes all the difference in locking down that 3 count. Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Wow. I can definitely say that LWF Championship means a lot to Pauly Thomaselli, because he is fighting tooth and nail to hang on to that thing. He is in the fight of his life right now.
Nope.
Oh no. We might have a Thomaselli pancake.
Oh. Ouch.
That was a moose splash.
Oh, here's the finisher of Thomaselli.
There you go.
And there it is.
1 sec, guys.
That was a big victory in more ways than one for Pauly Thomaselli.
Pauly Thomaselli!
Yeah, no, I definitely got to say on that is that, you know, it just goes to show you that, you know, 1 second can make the difference. Just one mistake on behalf of the Beer City Bruiser, missing that move off the top rope. If he would have hit Pauly with that, that would have been the end of it, and you would have been taking home that title. So, I think we lost Devin. So.
It's okay.
Yeah, so, well, at this point in time, I had a special announcement to make, so I guess we'll have to hear what I had to say at that point. So. And it was a warm day, so I didn't dress up.
That was one of the hardest fought fights in SSW. The reason I'm out here is because I talked to Billy Wack. He's the official owner of the LWF and the LWF Championship. And he told me before we did the show tonight that whoever won this match tonight would officially be the final LWF champion. So, I want to congratulate you on that. A lot of people have held that belt over the years, many of them that you know. I don't have enough time to name all of them right now. But you are the rightful owner and holder of the LWF Championship. But I still want to recognize you as a champion here in SSW. So what we're going to do right now is present you with a brand new championship here in SSW. We're going to introduce, this is going to be the Midwest Heritage Championship. As far as I'm concerned, if we have the opportunity, this isn't going to be just an SSW championship any more than the LWF title was an SSW championship. But that belt you're holding over your shoulder represents heritage, and from this point forward, I want you to do the same thing with this one. One more time. Thank you. Thank you very much. And the new Midwest Heritage Champion.
Yeah, so there we have it. And basically, at that point in time, you know, it was, you know, as I had stated that, you know, Pauly Thomaselli, as of this moment, is the last LWF champion, and we basically converted that title that he was holding into the Midwest Heritage Championship. So,
That's
what do you guys think of that match?
I liked it. Again, once again, it's between two veterans. You heard them slaps, you heard them punches, and like I said at the end, I think Pauly Thomaselli, that was a big win in more ways than one to be able to beat the Beer City Bruiser.
Yep, it was the end of one era of a championship and the beginning of another era of a championship. So definitely a great match, hard hitting. You don't get much tougher than that. So definitely shows why Pauly Thomaselli is a true champion.
Yeah, definitely, and that was why I felt it was the right opportunity to bring out that new championship belt. I mean, you know, that LWF championship is so rich with history in the Midwest, and you know, it just fitting to, you know, kind of convert it, you know, make our own belts with the Midwest Heritage title. I think it's aptly titled, and you know, to directly offshoot, you know, from that LWF championship in and of itself. And you know, on a selfish note, it's kind of nice that I can kind of control the sanctioning of that match. I don't have to book it through anybody else. So that's nice in and of itself. But you know, so. But anyways, so let's see where we're going next here is the fourth match of the night. And this one definitely was a special attraction match. The show prior to this, and at early May, we saw Marshe Rockett take on the man, I don't know if he was formerly or currently, or if it's just one of his many nicknames, but known as Zema Ion over at TNA Impact Wrestling. He came in and Marshe took on Marshe Rockett, and the two of them had a spectacular match here in SSW. And of course, the way we kind of look at it, you know, from a booking standpoint, it was a great opportunity to bring in at that point in time a you know, established, you know, TNA Impact Wrestling superstar and put him in against a guy who had just previous to that match been announced to be signed with TNA Impact, and that of Marshe Rockett. Now, many of you guys had seen, as if I'm not mistaken, just last week he made his debut at the Impact TNA pay-per-view. I'm sure, Ryan, you had checked that out. Did you want to kind of let us know what happened?
I've not yet been able to watch it. He was on their one night only pay-per-view extravaganza or ultimate, something like that, but I'm hoping to get a chance to watch it this week.
All right. Well, the good news with that is our longtime member of our roster, Marshe Rockett, is officially part of the TNA Impact family, which is awesome for him. Awesome for Impact as well. It's a great pickup, and it was awesome for us too, because we were I believe the first guys to be able to get a crack at taking advantage of having two TNA Impact signed wrestlers wrestling right here at the Brat Stop in Kenosha. And that was when Marshe took on DJZ. Of course, their first match together didn't end exactly as Marshe had hoped, when he was he was defeated by DJZ, but of course in nefarious fashion. We'll just put it that way. I believe he got a quick roll up and was holding the tights in that. So Marshe took it upon himself to challenge DJZ to a rematch at our anniversary show, and that's exactly what happened. Marshe took on Zema one more time, and we're going to go into that match now. So just real quick before we do that, what did you guys have any thoughts on that feud, between the two of them, between what happened at the first match before they took each other on at the anniversary show?
Well, unfortunately, I missed the first match between these two, so I only got to see the second one. And I want to say DJZ tried to get the upper hand early on, because I believe he came out and attacked Marshe Rockett while he was coming out to the ring, I believe.
Yes, and we're going to actually get to see that in just a couple of minutes. How about you, Devin?
I think it was kind of like almost like a welcome to my world with DJ and Marshe. Like he knew Marshe is coming to TNA, and that's his playground, and he was not going to be bested by him. I think he was trying to maybe humble him a little bit by doing a little bit of a dirty trick to win. But it's kind of interesting to see that both guys are very hungry and they want to make a name for themselves. And I think after this match, that there was definitely no question who the better man was.
Yeah, definitely. And DJZ, of course, being a former TNA X Division champion and still in that division, currently trying to get back that gold. But
he's very close to getting that back.
Yeah. I mean, he's had many opportunities. It seems to just keep slipping through his fingers. But although Marshe Rockett is definitely one of our guys, we always want to give props to the guys that graced our ring, and we hope to see great things in DJZ's future. But without further ado, we're going to get to that match now. Marshe Rockett versus DJZ from Best in the Midwest 2016 this past May. And here we go.
Rematch. Introducing first, just recently signing a contract with TNA Impact. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Amazing Marshe Rockett.
Yeah, and as you can hear with that crowd response, Marshe Rockett is definitely, the of everybody on the roster, is definitely a fan favorite here in SSW. I mean, no one can argue with his popularity, and not only in SSW, but hopefully soon on Impact Wrestling as well.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of energy. The crowd loves him. He's
explosive, if you might add.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, you call it, Ryan. Spoiler alert. Yeah. A little production note that DJZ snuck out there so fast that our sound guy didn't even get an opportunity to stop playing Marshe's music. Nobody even knew what happened.
Yeah, I don't know about that sound guy.
Yeah, he has his moments, but I got to keep my eye on him.
Now, I got a question for you, RJ. How does that feel for you as an owner to know that one of your top guys got signed by TNA, obviously a big company? How does that make an owner feel that one of their guys is moving on to the big time?
Well, and so some of that what you asked me cut out, but I'm just going to surmise by saying that, Marshe, I'm very happy to see his future going forward. I mean, as we all know, when it comes to the independent circuit, all these guys are definitely free to pursue whatever that they want to. I have talked with Marshe, and I've definitely gotten assurances from him that as long as his contractual obligations will permit it, that he will definitely be a part of SSW in the future going forward. And I have definitely confirmed that he will be appearing in SSW this coming Sunday when we kick off our season of 14. And as far as that goes, I mean, as we know, Impact is, they have scheduled tapings and things like that. So if one of our shows comes up that he's unable to appear at, we'll take it in stride and we'll miss him. But guarantee you that Marshe, for foreseeable future, will definitely be a part of SSW.
We'll just cost more money.
But it was definitely, an honor for us too to bring in DJZ. I mean, we're looking at a guy, that he is likely to face at Impact, and it could possibly be for that, X Division title in the future. And I think if anything, this definitely shows the two of them, not only what Marshe can expect from his competition, when he, over at Impact, but also shows DJZ that, some of these new guys that they may be arguably looking down their nose at or possibly taking for granted is, thinking, that they're stepping into their yard. Anything can happen on any given day, and I think these two just showed each other that they're both caliber, competitors that belong in the ring together.
Yeah, definitely. And, you don't get much better than these two. They're young and they're...
In DJZ, this is a different side of him. Like, he's usually this happy, burn kind of guy, but he seems like he has a chip on his shoulder in this match, showing that he's in Marshe Rockett's house.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, I was just going to say that, DJZ coming to SSW, I mean, he definitely, Marshe has the crowd advantage. I mean, he definitely was, in uncharted waters when he came to SSW, and for him to beat Marshe, I mean, Marshe is a former two-time SSW champion. If DJZ had come in at a different time, he would have walked out with the SSW title by defeating Marshe. So, I mean, it was impressive to come in and, regardless of how he did it, to beat Marshe in his very first match in SSW. That's nothing to scoff at, definitely.
not at all.
And it's not too many matches that Marshe's in that right off the bat, he's getting, pinfall attempts on him, and
he hasn't even chopped anybody yet.
Yeah. I don't think we have many guys on the roster that haven't been in the ring at one point in time or another with Marshe, but usually the roles are reversed, and Marshe is the guy that, is kind of, the other guys are hanging on to survive with.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely, Marshe is usually the one dishing out the punishment, not vice versa.
Yep. To the crowd's delight, on top of that.
Yeah, your back is never the same.
Crowd's trying to get Marshe back in it, and it looks like it's going to work. Oh, what a move by DJZ. Don't play to the crowd.
That did not look too pleasant. I have a small child choking me right now.
trying to get Marshe back into it.
Yep.
And now he's blocking the right-handed punches. And there he goes.
Yeah, Marshe is not exactly a newbie. He knows what's coming.
Now there's Marshe in true form right there. One of the biggest leg drops you're going to find in the business. Vintage Marshe Rockett, if you might.
Okay, Cole.
Uh-oh. Chop.
Oh, going for the M80. It almost hit Joe Fur. Darn.
Oh.
Oh, tried to get him with the low, and it still didn't work. Can't let the emotions get the best of him. He needs to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely.
He should know this.
I mean, you let Marshe get under his skin. Just be focused on task at hand.
I don't know if I'd want to wait for Marshe to get back up. I would take him out while he's down. Oh!
There it is.
Nice.
The M80.
Lightning in a bottle right there.
Is that it?
Time, get into it.
Oh, his foot's on the rope.
You know, I think on any other night that would have been the end of that match, but DJZ took so much out of Marshe, the early moments of that match, that I think that, that just at that point in time he didn't have enough to lock it down.
And if it happened in the middle of the ring, I think he might have got him.
Yeah, there's a good possibility because DJZ barely got his foot on the rope. Oh. That'll mess up those pretty looks of DJZ.
Oh, nice.
That'll mess up the pretty looks of Marshe.
1, 2. And DJZ keeps getting frustrated by the 2 counts. Oh boy.
Ah, it took just a little too long.
Ooh, and a boot to the mush. Oh, the M80 from the top. Oh, that's got to be it.
You could see DJZ's face bump off the mat.
And there it is.
Wow.
The two-time.
That's a victory from Marshe.
Yep, the two-time former SSW champion, doing what he does best, putting guys down for the 3 count in the middle of the SSW ring.
Now DJZ won the first match, correct?
Yeah. The show prior, I believe it was. I believe it was at Stormfront. The two of them took on each other, and unfortunately, at the end of that match, it kind of looked like DJZ had gotten frustrated to the point, and I think he, if memory serves me correct, although referees call is final, I think there was a handful of Marshe's tights. As you can see, maybe it's something that hurts Marshe, but he's got that belt that goes around his tights there. I think DJZ had, behind the referee's point of view, had a handful of that and was able to roll up Marshe and get that pinfall.
So a question that a lot of fans might have is there ever a possibility that we'll get the rubber match between these two guys? Anytime two guys in SSW, are 1-1 with each other, I would never rule anything out. Unfortunately, with schedules and things like that, we were not able to, bring that match. But that's a great idea, Ryan, and I'm definitely going to put that one in my back pocket for the season 14. You never know what you're going to see. But you are right with him and Marshe being 1-1 in SSW. Hey, you never know. You might see that rubber match on TV on Impact. Oh, good point.
Although I'm sure we won't get any acknowledgement of it from SSW, but you know we all
cool match on the ring.
So Devin, I see you got a mini me there with you, and
Yep.
here to introduce your roommate.
Yes, this is my Jedi Master. His name is Yoda. He rides around on my back telling me to do things.
Ah.
Half the time while sleeping. Say hi, Yoda. Well, hi.
Awesome. Well, now we got 4 people on commentary, so that's awesome.
Hi.
So, well, again, at this point, real quick, we want to do a shout out, Ryan, for what you got, going for you coming up in the next, few days, weeks, and stuff like that with Ringside Report and other things you're involved with.
Sure. I got obviously Ringside Reports 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you can go to youtube.com/RB Enterprises. It's no longer me and Brandon. It's now me and Tony, Anthony Smoody, the King of Content.
Sorry to hear that.
I know, unfortunately, but he's like the he's like the wrestling dictionary. Like you name one show, he'll name off the whole card and everything. So that's why he's there. But again, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're doing a live show called To Be Announced, Facebook Live, to talk about all topics. On Tuesdays, we're going to start up. So that's pretty much that. And then, of course, I got commentary with you guys. And then besides that, my schedule's become a lot more clear as of late.
Ah, well, for good or bad, that's I just want to backtrack a minute and say that you had me a little worried there when you threw out dictionary, because I totally thought you were going down a different road when you said he was a wrestling dictionary. but anyways,
encyclopedia was the word, not dictionary.
Okay, that makes a little more sense, but
yes.
You can't have it puts a dick in dictionary, I suppose, right? So.
Oh.
Not trying to be a dictator.
Yeah, that too. So, and anyways, Devin, coming up this Sunday, do we have anything special to expect from you, or are you just going to be kind of waiting in the wings and seeing what goes down?
I may have surprises up my sleeve, if I had sleeves.
No.
I'm going to leave that as a good, long TBD, to be determined.
You're not coming on commentary, are you?
God, no, you guys smell.
That's Beatty.
Oh, yeah.
Smells like Axe body spray and failure.
No, Jesus is gone.
Oh, true.
Jesus.
Sacrilegious.
So Ryan, it's going to be you and Scott Beatty this Sunday at our season 14 premiere. Is that correct?
Yep. It'll unfortunately Beatty's there, but yeah, they keep letting them in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, well, just a little heads up too for all our fans out there and everything. We have been kind of thinking about the idea of possibly doing like a live pre-show. I know Ryan, you and I have talked about it. We're gonna see if we can try and get that set up. So probably about 6:30 this coming Sunday before we actually start the show. We're gonna try and do a little something on Facebook Live. We can get that to work. With signals down at the Brat Stop and stuff like that. But as I said, everything is kind of a beta test right now, and we appreciate everybody that's been watching. I just kind of looked at the analytics for our broadcast tonight here, and we've had about 51 people have hopped in and out so far. So that's pretty cool. We have a couple watchers right now live who are listening to us, drone on. So we're not going to do that too much longer, but we want to thank you for being here. At this point, too, like I said, this Sunday we're going to be live at the Brat Stop doing our season 14 kickoff show. It's going to be a good night. We're going to be announcing some matches on our Facebook page this coming week. We're going to have a few surprises as well. Things that, hey, you got to be there to see it. We're not going to announce everything because I got a couple things that you might be surprised by. You're just going to have to come down this Sunday and see the show live at the Brat Stop. Again, it's going to be at 7 p.m. bell, and if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can go to Brown Paper Tickets, look up SSW Pro Wrestling, and get yours now. And if you haven't gotten them yet, get over there because I think we got only a dozen front row seats left. And you want the best seat in the house, go get your tickets now, and they'll be held for you on show day. So, but without further ado, we're going to finish up here with the main event match from Best of the Midwest 2016. And that was our 13th anniversary show, and of course for the past year, pretty much it started back in at our what would that be, the 12th anniversary show when Vic Capri actually took on Colt Cabana, and oddly enough, Shane Fury and Marcelo Spade came out and attacked the two of them, and then later in the fall, it was revealed that Shogun Chris Logan was part of the whole deal along the way, and we've been dealing with the Refinement Club for over a year now, and they kept getting involved in matches, costing matches, and things like that, and kind of the common element problem that seems to keep rearing its ugly head here in SSW. So, make matters worse, after Dave Rydell became the SSW champion, as Mr. Devin Diamond can attest to, is all of a sudden, Rydell and Matt Dewar decided that they were going to join forces with the Refinement Club, and next thing you know, almost half our roster is in this, this chaotic group of people that are wreaking havoc all over the roster, and we couldn't deal with it anymore. So Vic Capri teamed up with Rough Crossing, with Backwoods Brown. I'm trying to think. Devin Diamond was part of the match, and Ryan Cross, and we had a big 6-on-6. I called it Uncivil War match because it truly was a civil war here in SSW. And it was probably one of the biggest matches that we've had. And basically, the premise of the match was every 2 minutes, another competitor would enter the match randomly from one side, one team or the other. So it wasn't always, one team at a disadvantage. We kind of staggered the entrances with a flip of a coin. So 2 guys started, then one Refinement Club, then one team SSW, and back and forth. But at random would come out until everybody had been in the match. And then, of course, the ending of the match, we had quite a little surprise that I'm not going to spoil here. So at this point in time, we're going to get into that match, and it's the big 6-on-6 Uncivil War match from Best of the Midwest 2016. And as soon as I get it booted up here, we are going to start. And here we go.
2 men will start, and every 2 minutes, a new man will enter. How are they going to enter? They're backwards, they're drawing straws, they're flipping coins.
And then we're just going to skip that forward because we just talked about it. And of course, our first entrance in the match was Shane Fury. And I'm just going to get us skip forward here a little bit till the start of the match because I know this was a long one. So, and of course, Shane Fury's would start off the match against none other than the big man himself, Backwoods Brown. And that was quite an impressive start to this main event of our 13th anniversary event. So here we go. And of course, there was a 2-minute timer going between each entrance on this, so as the match progresses, now you got 2 minutes.
Backwoods Brown, what a guy to have to come in there first.
Yeah, definitely. It's that's their big weapon. I should say that's all of them.
Yeah, and the thought had actually crossed my mind of adding some sort of almost like a Royal Rumble type over-the-top rope rules to this match, but some people had actually thought that with a guy like Backwoods Brown being in the match, that would actually give Team SSW too much of an advantage because it would probably take half the Refinement Club to be able to get him over the top rope.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
A big dude.
Yeah, I would say at this point in time, Backwoods Brown probably the biggest man on the SSW roster.
No question.
Beer City Bruiser aside, that would probably be. That would put the ring to the test if we got those 2 guys in the ring together.
Oh, boy.
I don't think we have a ring left after that.
The argument could be made, definitely.
Now, the key thing here is you keep Backwoods Brown on the ground.
Yeah, definitely keep the big guy off his feet.
Oh, God.
Something like that happen.
Belly to belly.
Yeah, that looked painful.
comes our third entrant.
Mr. Duncan Solaire.
The one guy's name I never can remember.
You're not the only one.
I don't think these two guys add up to half of Backwoods Brown.
Probably to the Refinement Club's detriment that, you know, with the random draw, that they didn't get a bigger guy out there to help the Backwoods at that point.
Yeah, if that would have been Chris Logan or Russell, you know, even Spade possibly, or Delar, you know, that could have really been spelled doom for Mr. Big Man.
Yeah. But I've definitely seen what Duncan can do in the ring, and he is definitely, you know, he may not be a powerhouse, but he's definitely got his own abilities and his own specialties, and you know, definitely not to be overlooked.
Did you see that he just took Backwoods off feet? Down with a nice knee.
That pinfall's not going to work.
Yeah, now see, this is where the disadvantage of this type of match really comes into play. You know, when even a guy like Backwoods Brown is put down to the mat and kept down, when you have two guys, you know, you're just at a disadvantage no matter how big of a guy you are.
How is it determined that the Refinement Club got the advantage?
Literally, it just was, you know, flip of a coin backstage. The next guy to come out would be one team or the other, and then it was a random draw from the team.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could have, you know, I know it didn't turn out that way, but it could have possibly ended out that there were 4 Refinement Club and 1 a Team SSW. But we just felt the randomness was the best way to conduct the match. You know, really keep things up to chance. And, of course, the blue smoke means the team captain,
oh boy,
Vic Capri.
He's cleaning house.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how the randomness of this match really played a factor. That, you know, the team captain of Team SSW is out there as the second man. You know, a lot of times when you see matches like this take place, you know, it's almost a foregone conclusion that the team captains are last. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Vic Capri is definitely a house of fire and a not so small package. Not that way, you weirdo.
But you know, the thing is with Vic Capri, you know, when I mean, we saw it in the past, you know, when he debuted and he took on Marshe. I mean, that fire in his eyes, you know, for. You know, maybe it's the downtime that he had due to his neck injury and stuff like that, but to come back and really want to prove that you still got it. You know, he's not the youngest guy on the roster by any means, but, I mean, you know, at this point in his career, he can still run circles around most guys, but when you catch Vic Capri's ire, you know, when he's looking at you and he's got a score to settle, you do not want to be the guy in the ring. And these upstarts in the Refinement Club, you know, from that moment to that match with Colt Cabana, they put a target on their back for Vic Capri. And, you know, I think Vic would have taken on all 6 of them on his own if given the opportunity, and they probably would have had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
I continue to talk about Vic Capri. What has it been, 2 years now, trying to get that world title. I mean, he had it. Then I believe, what was it, Pauly Thomaselli cashed in and cost him the title, I believe.
Yeah, oddly enough, it was at the prior Best Midwest event that we had, where it turned out to be Mr. Devin Diamond leading his team of upstarts that was Dave Rydell, Calvin Beckham, and Justice Jones, basically kind of doing the same thing, thinking that they ran the place. And Vic Capri was with, correct me if I'm wrong, but he teamed with Marshe, Rockett, Pauly Thomaselli, and Remy Reigns kind of in a similar situation, and unfortunately, Pauly Thomaselli took a different road when he kind of sidelined Vic Capri and took that second title away from him within a couple minutes. But you know, things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not at all, Devin.
Wasn't there?
Like I said, forgive, not forget.
Hey, I never said I was perfect.
I haven't either.
That's a jerk.
I would go so far to say with Backwoods and Vic in the ring right now that, you know, even with Marcelo, Shane Fury, and Duncan Solaire, I'd almost figure right now Team SSW has the advantage just with those two guys alone.
Well, Backwoods Brown's like 3 guys.
Yes, that's very true.
3 anorexic wrestlers rolled into one. Like Voltron.
I would pay to see that. Now, Shane Fury is a tough guy, and you don't normally see him begging off like that. But he knows he's in a bad way right now.
Well, when he has a semi coming at him, I'd back away too.
Yeah, that's staring down a tunnel at a freight train and not being able to go anywhere.
And then you got Vic Capri, which isn't much better.
No,
Spade,
it was still right hand to fire right there for Fury.
And Marcelo Spade, I don't think has even been in the ring yet. He keeps getting knocked out.
If there ever was a time for your bowels to expel, now is the time.
I do have to admit that Backwoods, I could tell he had his serious face on because he actually shaved prior to this match, and I almost didn't recognize him when he came in. Normally his beard and his hair were matching. All right, well, we're up to our next competitor. Who's next? Another member of Team SSW.
Trusting.
The only functional alcohol on the SSW roster.
And he'd have it no other way.
What a career Rough Crossing has had on the indie scene.
Never seen somebody so afraid of a cowbell in my life.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh, I'm sure that didn't quite go as planned.
And that's how you stop momentum.
And now the advantage back with the Refinement Club.
And now this is where the war really is at, you know, basically full throttle when probably over half of each team is currently in the ring.
What is it, 2 guys left on each team still? Is it 3-on-3 right now?
I believe we're at 3-on-3, so we still got 3 guys to go. So we're about at the halfway point of this match, at least when it comes to guys coming out. Yeah, that's a chop I wouldn't want to take, that's for sure. Oh. Oh. Using his own tag team partner against him as a battering ram. Oh.
And in the rope.
Good job by Ruff to pull his arm off right there and get that pinfall in there. Unsuccessfully, but nonetheless. In case anybody was wondering, that's the crowd chanting down. We have another guy coming out.
Ding, ding, ding.
The Refinement Club.
Ooh. Oh, this jerk.
I thought he was one of your friends.
I thought you were taking him to the top.
Yeah. Looks like the referee is just completely losing control of this thing at this point in time, which totally wasn't unexpected at all.
No, when you have 7 guys in there.
You got to give it to Matt Dwyer. That is a beautiful drop kick that he has. Most of the time.
I continue to compare Matt Dwyer on every commentary. He reminds me of a young Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about athleticism too and stuff like that, I mean, you know, I may not like how he conducts himself in and outside the ring, but the one thing I can't take away from Matt Dwyer is when he says he's the future, I'll tell you that, you know, he definitely is. I mean, he's still got things to learn, definitely, but, you know, when you're talking about guys that are going to be, you know, you're going to see faces throughout the Midwest, you know, in the future and stuff like that. Matt Dwyer has all the potential in the world. He just needs to stop running in circles with the wrong people, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right, Devin?
Yeah, I'm right here, guys.
No, I won't argue with what you saw in him, but, you know, sometimes it's just the people around you, Devin.
Sometimes when you see something you want, you have to take it.
That's true. Sometimes you get arrested for shoplifting, too, though.
Not if it's under $20.
Well, then I've been overpaying Matt Dwyer. Yeah, see, now, unfortunately, at a point like this in this match, you reach a point where you're starting to get so many guys in the ring that a lot of the guys can't, you know, there's too many guys around to really get some real high-impact moves, so they start getting into, you know, ground and pound and kind of grind down maneuvers where you're not going to see, you know, high-impact moves. It's just numbers games now.
Yep. Ooh. Ooh.
But that was a high-impact move. I mean, that, you know, on anybody but Vic Capri, a move like that might have ended the match, that's for sure.
Yeah.
A little backup for Team SSW coming out now. Oh, wait, I was wrong.
And we just lost half the viewers.
Yeah. Who's that guy? How did he get allowed in this match?
I have no idea.
So how long had it been since you'd been in the ring prior to this? I mean, short of that last time you were in the ring.
As a full-time competitor, February 2007.
Yeah.
But you wrestled the night Marshe Rockett smacked you on the back, right?
Full-time competitor.
He was a manager then.
Is that what they call it?
So not to be surprised here, Devin Diamond, the turncoat, showing his ugly face, right?
Yeah.
Or so we thought, right?
Well, you know, sometimes the old tricks are the best tricks. So.
Oh, boy.
Boom! Into the diamond drop. Uno, dos, tres.
Now I have to assume that Matt Dwyer is not very happy about what just happened there.
I would like to assume that I made Matt Dwyer look like an idiot.
Well,
then again, every picture he takes is the same look, so kind of happens all the time. Hey, Matt Dwyer, can we take a picture with you?
I can't help but think that, you know, Matt Dwyer is probably going to be holding a chip on his shoulder after what just happened during that match.
Yeah, well, I was beating up people in the ring when he was still pooping his pants, so.
You weren't supposed to tell people about that. I thought he confided you in that. Well, that's what happens when you screw the boss, right? Get your mind out of the gutter, you know what I meant.
I was thinking of the whole Triple H Stephanie thing when you said screw the boss, but never mind.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know who the closest example in SSW that would be, so. I don't know.
Time for another guy.
Hooking up with Ryan Cross or something, maybe. I don't know. But.
Har har. arguably the powerhouse of the Refinement Club, Shogun Chris Logan, make his way to the ring, and unfortunately, Devin, you got to beat him.
That wasn't my smartest move I've ever done. Kind of hurt too. You got me right here. Look, I lost a tooth because of it.
Aww.
Wow.
I swallowed it. It took 3 weeks for that to come out.
Oddly enough, you knocked the tooth out on the opposite side of your head. That's quite an impact.
Oh, right, that's right. The webcam was mirrored. Hold on. Right. Oh, wait, there's one right here. Kayfabe.
Yeah, so unfortunately at this point in time now, it looks like the Refinement Club have the numbers game to their advantage. Even Vic Capri on the map. Just too much.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Even if the Capri is still on the mat, he's still dangerous because he can pop up out of nowhere. Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shogun and Shane Furia are two guys that you don't want to be on your back in the mat with them two on their feet, though. Because that's a dangerous combination right there. Rough Crossing, another guy, probably one of the toughest guys in SSW, and they're having their way with him right now.
Yep. Ooh.
I think Marcelo might have been knocked for a loop there. He kind of looked a little confused.
Don't he always look like that?
More or less.
It's his normal look in his face.
I don't know. I didn't see what Ruff did there, but he took out two of the tough guys of the Refinement Club with that move. So. Now, another member of Team SSW, Jeff Luxing, in his, I'm not exactly sure what he was going for on this one, but I know he was definitely doing a retro look.
Nice double team, nice. 1, 2, 3. There goes Marcelo.
Hey, somebody get that fan out of the ring.
Hey. Okay.
Now, here's a question. How come when I wore khakis to the show, you give me crap about it? But he can wear jeans and wrestle.
Because it was you?
Or did Matt Dwyer poop in his bag?
Hey, when a guy wants to go in jeans and a denim shirt into the ring, you know he's ready to kick butt. And that's
if his name is Abyss.
Hey, well. Jeff Luxon came out with a house of fire and took out one of the Refinement Club, so that's all I cared about.
Bad choice of words, Dan.
I think he tore his jeans. He was kicking too hard.
I had that same problem getting in and out of my car.
That's interesting right there with Jeff holding the rope, and he's keeping them two in the corner so they couldn't escape, and even sacrificing himself a little bit there. That's teamwork.
Yep. That's when you're out for revenge.
I think we have another guy coming in soon.
Nah, the crowd just started to chant at like 30 for some reason.
Oh. It's the main event. They've been spending a lot of the time at the bar.
Yeah, they're nicely loaded now.
Boy.
The spirits are flowing.
Oh, that didn't work.
Nope, not according to plan. Oh, that works though.
But there was always the backup plan.
Yep. Damn.
That's a big guy.
They knocked him for a loop.
That's Dave Rydell right there, you know, proving why he deserved to be SSW champion. I know you could probably argue that he was an underdog as an SSW champion, but you know, when push came to shove, he knew what he had to do to win, and that right there proved it. But
Oh.
no miscommunication on the part of Shane Fury and Shogun there. Now let's not forget too that Dave Rydell, he actually came into the SSW title picture because he actually he beat Jeff Luxon, if I'm not mistaken. Was that in the final rounds of the tournament to get that title shot to begin with?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Is that the Claw?
I think that's the Claw.
No one can stop the Claw!
Yeah, we don't see that too often.
Is that Dr. Claw?
And you know, if it wasn't for a match like this, you know, Rydell just would have ended it. That would have been it. But because of the nature of the rules of this match, he was able to, you know, get that low blow on Jeff, allowing.
Speaking of ending it.
Yep, as I expected, you know, Shane Fury eliminates Jeff Luxon from the match.
And the team is definitely taking over here. You know, you could literally feel the energy tucked out of Team SSW at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Luxon is a technician in the ring, and you know, to lose him from this match, I started to really get worried about the future of Team SSW here. I mean, let's also not forget that the stipulation of this match was the team that loses this match would be gone from SSW.
That is correct.
I mean, pretty much everybody in this match, they put everything on the line, you know. So.
Yes, we did.
So. As we go here, we have the final member of Team SSW coming out here. And as we all know, without further ado, is the big return of Ryan Cross to the SSW ring. Man definitely knows how to make an entrance, huh?
Indeed he does.
Yes, I mean,
That is a big guy to take up and do that too. This shows that Ryan Cross is definitely the powerhouse of Team SSW. Definitely not the warmest response from the fans, but they sure were happy to see Shane Fury get eliminated from the match.
yeah, it's not always about what the fans think of you. If you let that get under your skin or get into your head, you know.
Oh yeah, and I mean we definitely know that, you know, you can be a good guy or a bad guy, but as long as you do, you know, as long as you do what you do and you do it well, you're going to get your fans. And unfortunately, also, you're going to get people that automatically hate you when you're good, and that's just what happens.
Or when you say you're going to slap God, that might have something to do with it too.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. We all have our own things. So correct me if I'm wrong, but at this point we've got Dave Rydell and Shogun Chris Logan pairing off against, is it Vic Capri and Ryan Cross? There are only two guys left, right?
From my count, I believe you are correct. Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Whoa!
That's a lot of meat flying.
Yeah, you don't want to be looking up and seeing that, because that is. Whew.
No,
They didn't go through that guardrail.
ouch.
Whoa.
Oh boy. All the blood rushes to the head of Dave Rydell.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Cross is a pretty tall guy too, so to be up that high and come crashing to the mat, that's going to take a lot out of you. You know, unfortunately, at this point in time now, Rydell's up against probably two of the most powerful guys of Team SSW when it comes to Ryan Cross and Vic Capri. Luckily, he's out there and he's got Shogun Logan on his side. That's for sure. I'd say Dave Rydell definitely makes up, you know, for what he lacks in power when it comes to being a cerebral type wrestler. I mean, you know, and he knows it, and that's why he's perfected his craft when it comes to being a tactician in the ring. That's for sure.
Yep, got to do.
I may not like the decisions that he makes, but I definitely give him all the respect in the world for doing what he does, and he does it very well. I mean, he's been with SSW for nearly 10 years, you know, and it's one of those things where when you look at him and you just see how he's progressed over the years from, you know, and I use the term lovingly, but coming into SSW is essentially kind of a jobber to begin with, and to move all the way up the ranks, you know, and become, you know, a Triple Crown champion, essentially holding the Lightning division, tag team champion, and then going on to become the SSW champion. I mean, you know, and
yeah, he did that all within 2 years too.
Yep.
With my guidance, I might add.
I mean, three of the guys in this ring, you know, and probably eventually at some point in time we'll include Shogun, but 3 of the guys in this ring are either current or former SSW champions, and you know, that's a showcase of what SSW has to offer right here.
Big element.
Yeah, channeling a little bit of Macho Man right there, and wow, yeah.
Double elimination.
Yeah, we kind of missed it off camera there, but Vic Capri, his ice crusher on Shogun Logan from the corner, and that was a concurrent pin. It's an interesting turn of events. You know, I have 2 guys eliminated at the exact same time, still keeping the odds even between them.
Right. Looks like again number 2.
Well, I guess maybe it shouldn't be unexpected that, you know, a match like this would come down to the 2 team captains. I mean, you know, they're captains for a reason, and you know, seeing it come down to Vic Capri and Dave Rydell is a pretty epic moment here.
Yeah.
Crowd creating their own countdown for some reason here. Hear what Vic has to say here.
There's a lot at stake in this match. Yeah, listen in. Shut up a second.
A man of not many words, but they're important when he says them.
Unless I lose. Make your mind whoever loses this is gone. But it means there's no reason I lay it all on the line and up the ante. I won Lord of the Rings. I beat you now, that title's mine. I'm cashing in.
Now, as those of you know out there, Vic Capri won the 2015 Lords of the Ring tournament, and thus he got that SSW Championship match, that contract. And as was done to him previously, unexpectedly, Vic Capri saw his opportunity, knowing that if he loses this match, he's done in SSW anyways. So why not, like you said, lay it all on the line, and turns this end of this match into an official SSW Championship match between the defending champion Dave Rydell and now the challenger, the former 2-time SSW champion.
You're gonna go. That's the way to go.
You know, a little side note is Vic came up to me, you know, backstage prior to this, and he goes, "So what happens with that, you know, that title shot that I got if I'm done, you know, on SSW?" And I just told him, I'm like, well, you know, it's good as long as you're in SSW, and I guess he took that to heart when he went out there and decided, hey, I'm going to use it tonight one way or another. So
makes sense. Actually, I probably would have used it a lot sooner.
Well, don't forget that at the show prior to this, Vic Capri had actually won #1 contendership. If I'm not mistaken, he won #1 contendership against Marshe Rockett. So he faced Dave Rydell for the title at the last show. So he didn't need to use it, but I guess I suppose he could have to get a second shot right away. But you know, it looks like it worked out pretty good to his benefit at this point, and unfortunately not for the referee.
Oh boy.
Ref is down.
Nothing ever good happens when the referee gets knocked out.
I can think of a few things. Uh-oh.
Do you have the title?
Yeah, never ends well.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. Call for a new ref.
I'm going to use another ref. He doesn't have his glasses on this time.
Yeah. How can you do that? I'm calling shenanigans.
Well, sometimes when somebody says, hey, we need you, you just got to go to, oh, that's a good thing.
Well, he probably didn't see that.
Good thing he didn't have his glasses on.
Oh boy, this is good.
Uh-oh.
Pedigree.
There you go. You look really
I
comfortable.
think there's one referee left. Yep. There's Joe.
Yeah, I had to go into overtime paying refs on this one for sure. Oy. Hazard pay.
Brian Young, you look like you should have a bowl of Cheetos on your stomach. Oh. No, you look really comfortable.
I just heard the ref on the guardrail, so
Yep.
that was the third one and done. I guess Rydell was desperate at this point in time,
Oh, yeah.
doing anything to protect his title.
Yep. You can't lose your belt if there's no one to count.
Well, I gotta say is the one thing that you always have to do is you always got to have an ace in the hole, and especially when you're promoting a wrestling company and you're doing this, you always got to plan for the worst case scenario.
Oh boy.
I guess revenge is the dish best served cold.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, that Pauly didn't have an opportunity to really address what happened between Rydell and Dwyer and stuff like that after they attacked him. And Pauly came to me and he said, hey, Pauly came to me and basically kind of said is that I got, hang on, so sorry. Yeah, Pauly came to me and he basically said that, he wanted to get his revenge on Rydell and Dwyer, and I said, well, I might have something for you tonight if things don't go according to plan, and he was ready. And I said basically, you go out there and you make sure that things go right tonight, and that's exactly what he did.
It's a good thing you had an extra ref shirt.
We got our own stock. We don't always have to go to the referees union to get that stuff.
You have a union?
Only the good ones. They weren't too happy about Pauly being the referee, but whatever. But back to the match here is now, the one thing that going for Rydell right now is that Vic Capri has been in this match for a very long time, being the second man out there, and Rydell essentially being the last on his team. Yeah, but Rydell's still showing his frustration. I think he thought punching Pauly was going to assure that he was going to, walk home with his title, but Pauly had other ideas.
Hey! Come on, baby boy, get out here. Should I disqualify him for hitting a referee? Charge, right? You know, Dave, I'd love to disqualify you. And you keep your belt, right? No. Guess what? No disqualification. The match continues now. And don't try this count out chicken shit. No. If you count out, the belt goes.
Dramatic effect. Okay.
It's fun sound effect.
Alrighty. Vidal needs to be a little more concerned with what Vic Capri is doing than Pauly.
Oh,
And that's why you don't turn your back on your opponent.
And that's exactly why.
1, 2, 3.
And there it is.
The second ever 3-time SSW champion.
congratulations to Vic Capri.
Good stuff.
That officially locked it in. The 3-time SSW champion, Vic Capri. Oddly enough, thinking back to the past here, Pauly Thomaselli, the one raising his hand for Vic Capri getting that title back, when Pauly was actually one of the ones that cashed in on Vic Capri in the past. So it's almost kind of like a full circle effect at that point in time. Righting the wrongs and bringing everybody, Team SSW together behind a new SSW champion. And unfortunately for the Refinement Club, that means they're bye-bye.
Yep. Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
Oh,
I made that up.
sound like a fortune cookie.
It happens.
Is that your nickname for smoothie? Victory 3, definitely a proud favorite.
And probably one of the most deserving championship wins in his career after having that second SSW championship basically stolen from him, oddly enough, by Pauly Thomaselli. I think he was a 2-time SSW champion for all of 5 minutes tops, and that was after he had spent the good portion of a year feuding with Justice Jones and Devin Diamond's team of hoodlums, nonetheless. But definitely a rewarding victory to come back. What was that? Almost 2 years later, and finally regain the title that he essentially had stolen from him in the first place, and a deserving finish to our 13th season of events.
I think they call that a slow burn. Dave Rydell not looking too happy.
No, definitely not. I mean, as much as he basically he wrote his own ticket to disaster here with this. I still all the respect in the world to him for everything that he accomplished over the past year and stuff. Unfortunately, I hate to see these guys go, but when you agree into the terms and you start playing the game the way that they did and doing all the underhanded stuff, unfortunately, it comes back to bite you, and they were just on the wrong end this time,
Absolutely.
So, at this point in time, we've been through the entire show from Best of the Midwest 2016. That was our 13th anniversary event from back in May. And of course, you guys go through our final thoughts. But I got to say first that I think that was probably the best event that we've ever had. It was a solid card from top to bottom. And you know what? I can't be more pleased with the way things turned out, because honestly, I don't know what I would have done if the Refinement Club would have won. To have guys like Vic Capri, Pauly Thomaselli was out there. Vic Capri, Rough Crossing, Jeff Lux, and Ryan Cross, all those guys. Those are staples of SSW, and just to have those guys gone, it is terrible to lose guys like Dave Rydell and Shogun and Matt Dwyer and the rest of the Refinement Club. But stipulations of the match, and we got to move forward. So it is what it is. And this Sunday, it's going to be a new era of SSW all over again, and we're going to just keep going forward. And when opportunities arise, we have new faces that take the place, and should be interesting. But we'll start with you, Devin. What did you think of the show?
I think top to bottom it was a really solid show. I think everyone knew it was an important show. They wanted to come out for the anniversary and give it their all. We had some new faces, we had some old faces, and really everyone put in the best effort they could. And so we saw, the new SSW champion, Vic Capri, Team SSW survives, and what will become of the Refinement Club will remain to be seen. But it ain't going to be in an SSW ring.
Yeah. And you know, just on a personal note, I know we haven't seen eye to eye, you know, over the years and things like that. But you know, just going in there and making that one impact there with eliminating, you know, Matt Dewar, you know, I mean, that could have made all the difference in the world. So I'm just glad that we were able to put our differences aside for a night and see you standing up and supporting SSW instead of fighting against us all the time.
Well, you know, I don't expect forgiveness overnight, but you know, the crowd isn't exactly a big fan of mine. But hopefully, in time, they'll come around. But all I'm going to do is try and rectify my sins and go from there. So.
Well, you know, respect is something that's always earned, and you know, it's just a matter of time. You just keep playing things on the straight and narrow, and I'm sure eventually everything will come around. You know.
I hope so.
Alrighty, and Ryan, how about you?
Well, like you said, it's top to bottom. That card was great. There wasn't one bad match, and I think that's just going to lead into the start of the 14th season. Everyone's going to up their game just a little bit more. I think that's going to make for a great run going into the 14th season of SSW.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, we're gonna move forward a little bit here and just say that, you know, Best of the Midwest 2016 is now behind us, and now we got to look forward to our season 14 kickoff, which again is going to be this Sunday live at the Brat Stop. Bell time is 7 p.m. We're going to be opening the doors at 6 o'clock. And as already been announced, we already have 3 championships that are going to be defended for sure at the show. Vic Capri will be making his first SSW title defense of his third reign as champion. I did confirm that Pauly Thomaselli will be defending his title against as of yet to be announced opponent. And also William Jacobs, should he retain the SSW Lightning Division Championship at Legacy Pro Wrestling the night before, if he arrives at the Brat Stop still the Lightning Division Champion, he will be defending it as well. But stay tuned to our Facebook page and to our website, sswonline.com, where we will be making those official match announcements over the coming week, as we are only, you know, 1 week away from the show as of right now. So it should be interesting and should be a good time. So we want to thank everybody that's hung in there and watched our show tonight, and it will be available in the archive on our YouTube channel. Again, this was kind of a beta test, but it does kind of seem like everything went fairly well tonight. We appreciate anybody, you know, kind of playing along with our technical difficulties, and we will work out the rest of the kinks as we go. But I don't think this is going to be the last time that we do this. So again, I'm SSW owner RJ Daniels. I want to thank you all, and I want to thank you, Ryan. If you want to give a little shout out to where we can find you online.
You can find me, of course, on Twitter at ringside_rep, Ryan Young on Facebook. If you want to look up Ringside Report, it's on Facebook as well. But appreciate you guys for having me.
Oh, no, absolutely, and you do a great job on commentary, and we look forward to seeing you this Sunday at the show. And Devin Diamond, we're just going to find you at the show, right?
Yeah, I'm usually by the snack bar.
All right, good to know. And I'll be backstage doing what I do best. And this is RJ Daniels on behalf of Ryan Young and Devin Diamond. We thank you all for tuning in tonight to SSW Online Live, and we will see you back here real soon. Take care and have a good one.